Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. We've seen some calmness returning to the global markets after a couple of days of zigzag movement. So US markets were flat to marginally positive, but the earnings season there is progressing well and most of the numbers which were announced were much better than expectations. European markets were a little weak as we have ECB meet lined up, where though there is not going to be any change in the policy rates, the way the euro has shot up against the dollar would be a matter of concern for the ECB chief, and one will have to watch and see what kind of reaction Mario Draghi gives on this euro movement, because that's a matter of concern for the entire eurozone. When we look at the Asian markets, the Japanese markets are showing a weakness of almost about 1% after they have gone up by almost about 3% yesterday, and the rest of the Asian markets are showing marginal weakness. Talking about the flows, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of 1164 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 1260 crore. And even in the index futures, we've seen the FIs selling to the tune of about 564 crore. Just to put things in perspective, for the past about 3 days, the FIs have sold index futures to the tune of almost about 1500 crore, though their buying at the cash market continues, which is a matter of concern. However, at the same time, at this NTPC offer for sale is going to be concluded. So there are expectations that the domestic selling, which has been relentlessly happening for the past almost about 2 months, could come to a halt. We will have to watch and see that. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we could have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, and let's have a view at derivatives. Friends, we've been seeing this as there is no major event in the market, but still the selling pressure has been continuing, and we've seen the market sliding further towards the mark of 5,950, 5,900. Now what we have seen is that the PCR ratio has been hovering in the range of 0.90. We have seen it started with 0.90 and has been now hovering between 0.90 and 1. That is a bad sign for the market. But if we have a look at the activity on the future side, we have seen that 0.6 lakh shares have reduced in open interest, and also the cost of carry has reduced marginal. So that's been clearly indicating that the profit booking has been taking place in the market. Now if I talk about the implied volatility, the volatility index VIX yesterday has cooled off marginally, and the IVs across strikes have also cooled off marginally. So that's been indicating that we might see some bounce in the market. Now talking about the activity on the options front, it's clearly visible that 6,000, 6,100 and 6,200 call option continues to add a handsome amount of open interest, whereas on the lower side, if we have a look, 5,900, 5,800 and 700 put option has seen a good activity. So the activity is widespread as we are having an event during event on the last day of the expiry. So we have seen that the market on higher side, the 6,000 level on closing basis would act as a hurdle for the market, and if 5,900 on lower side is taken off, then further downside can be seen. We are trading below our weekly VWAP. Our bias for the market is negative, and as I mentioned that we may see some bounce in the market, but the overall bias setup is negative, so we may see some selling pressure emerging in the market. Talking about the stocks, Titan Industries is looking positive. One can maintain a stop loss of 274 rupees. JSW Steel is looking weak. One can go short with resistance of 862.05, and Dr. Reddy is looking weak, so one can maintain a stop loss of 1933.35. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. Cipla came out with numbers. Their net profit growth was lower than market expectations. Market was looking at a growth of almost about 33 to about 40%, whereas the actual profit growth was about 25.5%. However, the top line growth or the revenue growth was very much in line with market expectations. In another important development, Dr. Y.K. Hamid, who has been the founder chairman of the company, would retire with effect from March 31st, and a new team will take over Cipla. So this is an important development as far as Cipla is concerned. NTPC OFS will commence today and will get over by the end of the day. The floor price has been set at 145 rupees. Remember that last time around the offer for sale happened at about 195, and the company is growing at about 10%. So though it has been a dull stock, the downside from 145 looks quite limited, and the size that the government is offering is 12,000 crore, which is quite huge. And also we are going to see the FY13 GDP target from the government which is pegged at about 5.5%. Ambuja is going to be reporting numbers and we are looking at a net profit of about 317 crore. Stock has been quite steady for the past many months and we are not expecting any major surprises in the numbers as such. Some positive news for JSPL and JSW Steel as they've got a go-ahead from the government for mining both iron ore and manganese in the state of Jharkhand. So one can go long on Jindal Steel in power with a stop loss of 415 and a target of about 437 to about 445. That's it from all of us friends. Have a nice trading session. See you tomorrow at the same time.